Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to this week's. Hold on, wait, just wait. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm going live from two devices. There you go. How high tech am I? Welcome everyone to this installment of Misfits Guide to Living. Oh my goodness, it's a Thursday. We're alive. How does it get any better than that? That's all I got. Because you know what's funny is I don't know about you, but I'm having a very strange day today. And one of the things that I do when I'm having a strange day, and it's much different now, but it's still got this element of, can the whole wide world just leave me alone so I can just be all alone today and I don't have to talk to people? I'm having one of those days, and I was like, I don't even want to do this live. And I was like, wait a minute, who does that belong to? You know what you got to do when you're aware of the whole world and lots of things going on in the world is use the tools. And I cannot stress this enough. Use the tools, like really use the tools. And when the tools don't seem to be working, use some more tools. So there you go. That's from yours truly, 15 years of experience with this, but hopefully that makes you feel a little lighter, because I know for me, I was just having a conversation with someone, and I'm extremely connected to a lot of people. And so I've had many conversations with people over the last week, with people just feeling like they've been going backwards, feeling like their life is over, feeling just stressed and worried about everything. And like I said, I've been using these tools for a long time, and I've seen what it takes to choose the path of consciousness if you desire it. Sometimes it's not the easiest and the most comfortable. But one of the things that I've learned is every time that shit comes up, if you're willing to be present with it and use these tools, and you'll, rather than avoid it, actually use it as part of what you allow to guide you to more of you, anything is possible. So please know that when that stuff comes up, you're not alone. And for a lot of people, when they have shit going on, feel like they're the only one with that shit going on. You're not. So just know that call a friend. One of the greatest tools, and one of the tools that I definitely avoid using a lot of the time until I don't, is talk to someone. Be like, hey, can you ask me some questions? Can you help me out with this? Can you give me a tool? Some great questions that you can get people to ask you. And if you don't have, ask yourself is, what am I avoiding? For me, when I ask this question, a lot of the time, I'm avoiding being so different. I'm avoiding just being a contribution. I'm avoiding, and all of these different things will come up. Then you can destroy and uncreate it all and recognize, wait a minute, I would avoid that for what reason? The next question you can ask is, what am I defending, for or against? Oh man, I'm defending for the idea that this is real, or I'm defending for somebody else's reality. I'm defending for this idea that I could be all alone. Everything that is, destroy and uncreate it. And then another question, what am I proving? That one's an interesting one, because a lot of the times for me, when I ask that question, I'm like, oh man, I'm proving that I cannot change. I'm proving that this is real for me. So just try that out. Check that out. Oh my goodness, how did I get so lucky to be here with you all? Thank you. Two devices, as I said. Oh my God, I'm just feeling so high tech right now. I'm just like, wow, I'm just really, it's happening. So I would like to, what can I contribute to you all this week? And I just want to ask that question to see what comes up. to see what energy comes up of what. Because notice when it's one of the interesting things that I had to work on with myself is from that question of what can, like if somebody was to ask me that, what can I contribute? I would always look for what I couldn't choose for myself as what I needed somebody else to contribute to me. So it was always had this weird energy of what can I take rather than what can I receive from this person truly desiring to contribute to me. So everything that is, everywhere that you have had it projected or expected at you, that in order to receive contribution, you have to be giving something in return rather than just to be able to receive, or you destroy and uncreate all that. Times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pog, all 100, shorts, boys, pobads, creations, bases, and beyonds. So let me bring up this topic of this week's live is what, if I can remember it, what have I stopped asking for? What have you stopped asking for? Okay, there you go. Oh my goodness, I remembered it. What have you stopped asking for? This came up for me a couple of weeks ago. I was looking at my life and different things that I desired to create, and I wasn't asking for them. Like I wasn't asking, what's it going to take for this to show up? What can I be and do today to actualize this? Like, what else can I add to my life? And so I want to give you guys some questions that you can use every day with this. But one of the things I know is if I'm not willing to ask for something, if I don't have the ability and the willingness to ask for something, I don't have the ability and the willingness to receive it. So, and it's an interesting concept, ask and you shall receive, because you would look at it and go, well, it's just too easy. But yes, it can be too easy, but it also takes the willingness to be extremely present in your life to recognize when you're coming to a conclusion. Because here's the thing with that is you might be asking for what's it going to take for this to show up. But if you're continuously thinking, this never works, or this is never going to show up, or I don't have the money, or I can't afford it, or what's wrong with me, or, all of that stuff, that's setting the walls around you that don't allow you to actually receive it. So one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is listen and be present with you. Listen to what you're thinking, listen to what you're saying, because that's what's creating what's showing up in your life. So you kind of get that to the degree that you do it, but it's an interesting thing to begin to get to go, oh, okay, this is showing up. Like if you say, take something that you've had show up in the last, I don't know, week that wasn't the most pleasant thing. And if you can take that and get a sense of it and go, okay, so what was my point of view, or what choice did I make that created that? And you might go, oh man, I talked to this person right before it and brought their point of view, or I was having a shitty day and I didn't see what else could be possible. I wasn't in question. Any of those things, everything that is now, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all 100, shorts, boys, povads, creations, bases, and beyonds. And here's why the clearing statement is just awesome. Oh my goodness, how did you all get so lucky to have it? Is because it doesn't matter when you had the point of view that created the limitation. Okay, you can, thank you for putting that up there. There you go, theclearingstatement.com. If you're like, what, right and pock and pod and right and pock, what? That's the clearing statement. And, the first time actually I heard the clearing statement 15 years ago, I was in my first bar session. I was getting my first bar session with this girl, and she was, oh man, that was, wow. I hope you've all had your bars run, and if not, please check out the Access Bars and get your bars run. Another great tool if you got weird shit coming up for you and you're having that cranky, yuck, stuck kind of stuff come up. bars, 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 bars. And so I was having a bar session, my first ever, with this girl, and she was like, "Hey, can I ask you some questions and run this crazy clearing statement?" And I hadn't heard what the clearing statement was, and I was like, "Sure." And so I laid down. She put her hands on my head to start doing this bars session, and I sobbed for an hour and a half. I did not stop crying, and it was like all of the walls that I built up around myself, all the judgment that I had of myself, all of this just anxiety and panic. And I didn't even realize how much of that stuff I was walking around with just seemed to fall away. And she was using this clearing statement, and it made absolutely no sense to me, but it was just the weirdest thing. So basically the way this works is it's your magic wand. It's about undoing the things that hold together these limitations. Okay. So if you're willing to have the awareness, anything is changeable. If you're willing to go, "Oh, wow, that's the point of view that I've been using to create this. I've been thinking continuously, I can't afford this, or I've been thinking my life doesn't work, or I've been thinking I'm sick and tired of this, or I've been thinking. Okay. Everything that is POC and POD. Another great tool with that is, who does it belong to? And every time it comes up, just ask that question. And if it lightens up at all, because if it lightens up at all, just return it to sender, and easy peasy. But here's the thing is, with a lot of these things, for example, when I first started Access, who does it belong to explained my life. Like, I was like, who does it belong to? You mean 98% of this stuff has not been mine? And it made so much sense, because for me, I didn't realize how I could be happy in one moment and just like, oh man, everything's possible, and just desiring to contribute and live, and just the space that I like to be, to the next moment being depressed and nothing is possible and everything was just against me, and and all that wonderful stuff. And it always put me in this kind of cognitive dissonance, because I would be like, wait a minute, I know this is possible, but now it doesn't seem to be possible. What the what? I bring that up because for me, this tool took a long time to begin to work with some different areas of my life. One of which being the way that I saw myself. So I would, get in a lot of judgment of myself and ask that question and get out of it, and ask different questions and get out of it. But then within, hours, I'd be back in it. What I realized was, for me, it was so much more comfortable to be in that energy of self-judgment. It was so much more known to choose those limitations that I was that were very real to me. It was much more comfortable to choose that than to be like, hey, wow, here I am. So everything that is for you, and everywhere that you have aligned and agreed or resisted and reacted to any of that, will you destroy and uncreate it? Pretty please. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pop, all 100, shorts, boys, perverts, creations, basics, and beyonds. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to take a moment. And yes, thank you, Stella, for putting all of your things up there. Amazing. So for you guys on Instagram, I'm pretty sure you saw it in the chat, but you've got the clearingstatement.com access bars. You can check that out. There's so many resources out there with Access. So please know that there's lots of support and lots of tools. So let's get onto this topic again of what have you stopped asking for? And so with this, what if you could, where do I go with this? What would it be like if you could create your life with a lot more ease? Now, one of the things, first of all, is getting clear on what it is that you desire. a lot of people, when you ask, like if I ask you guys that question now of, okay, what do you truly desire your life to be like in the next 5 years? If you could have anything as your life and living in the next 5 to 10 years, what would that be? Get a sense of that, but then notice how for a lot of people, it's kind of just like blank. What if that blankness is no longer a wrongness? What if that's not, oh my God, I'm blank, so therefore I have no idea what I desire? What if you just simply haven't asked to know what it is that you truly desire? And what if what you truly desire doesn't match what everybody else is choosing? Okay, so everything that is, and everywhere you've made you wrong for thinking you have no idea for what it is that you desire as your future. And in that, just thought, well, I'll just go along with what everybody else is choosing and I'll give up seeking what's actually true for me. Everything that is will you destroy and uncreate it. Times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all 100, shorts, boys, povads, creations, bases, and beyonds. Okay, so with this, great tool is start writing down, and you can do this in different areas if you desire. You could just write a list of, okay, if I could have anything, it's my life and living in the next 5 to 10 years, what would that be? Just write down anything and have that list be for you, but they may also just be kind of energies like, oh man, I'd really just like to have ease in my life. I'd really like to have ease with my finances. I'd really like to have relationships in my life, or a relationship in my life that's truly a contribution, something that adds to my life and the world. I'd like to be doing things where I'm never bored. I'd like to be contributing to people. I'd like to be, having a lot more adventure or a lot more ease with my body. Whatever that is for you, write that down and get a sense of what that is. Okay, so okay, there we go. I'm talking about multitasking. Anywhere that I decided today that I couldn't multitask, I'm reading text messages and coming up with all this stuff. Oh my goodness. And if you're thinking, why am I reading text messages? Because I have this thing, I don't know if you guys have it, where bright, shiny things is a real thing. So if I'm talking and my phone is right there and I'm doing an Instagram live also, and a text message comes up, I have to read it. So just, you are not wrong if you have that also. Okay, but one of the beautiful things about this is, what if the way that you truly create your life, create everything that shows up in your life is from play? What if it no longer had to be from hard work? So with this, getting a sense of what it is that you desire, anything that you can perceive, which means anything that you can get a sense of, anything that you can get a sense of the energy of, you can ask for and you can receive. So now when you start getting a sense of, because a lot of people walk around in their lives and they're like, oh, nothing's showing up, nothing's changing, nothing's different, nothing's happening, I'm never getting this, but they're not actually asking for it. They're not asking for it, and they're not getting a sense of what it would be like to have that in their life. So now with this, and get this list, another way of doing this, which I've seen some people do and found it very helpful, is take I think it's 5 different areas, one being money, business, relationship, sex, body, and geographical, meaning, where you would like to be in the world and how you would like to do that. So those 6 elements: money, business, sex, relationship, body, and geographical. And write down with those things, if you could have anything in those things, what that would be. So many things. And now with this, getting a sense of what it would be like to have it, now start asking for it. What can I be and do today that would allow this to show up in my life with total ease right away, while still getting that sense of what it would be like to have it? Okay, a really great resource for this, if you want to get a sense of how this works energetically, a great book is Magic, You Are It, Be It. You can get it on Audible. It's one of my favorite access books. I play it whenever I'm not magical, magic URB it, baby. Let's get that thing. And it does a walkthrough of this process also with how you can create your life from request. Okay. So, yes, thank you for putting those in there. What else did I want to add to that? Oh, so I wonder if you would be willing to make the demand in your life that whatever it takes, you become the valuable product in it. And what I mean by that is, well, first of all, asking for it again. Whatever it takes, I'm going to be valuable in my life. I'm going to be the valuable product of my life, where that means money's not going to be greater than me. These people that I've decided are greater than me are not going to be greater than me. I'm going to be the greatest thing in my life. Meaning you begin to create your life from, it doesn't matter what shows up. You know you have the tools to handle anything. You don't have to give up you for any of it anymore. What would it be like if that was a target for the next 5 to 10 years? I'm going to have so much of me that I don't have to avoid anything anymore, because there is nothing that can show up that can take me away from me. Everything that doesn't allow you to perceive, know, be, and receive, where that fits for you, where you destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all 100, shorts, boys, povads, creations, bases, and beyonds. And then what if you took 15 to 30 minutes a day, however this is for you? I know better than to say do it this way, because I know, I don't know about you guys, but here's another thing I know about, well, myself and a lot of other people, is you don't tell people what to do because they'll never do it. You kind of manipulate. You got to give options. What if? So let's put it into question form. Let's try that. But what if you could give yourself 15 to 30 minutes a day just of space where you could just be with that question of, what is it that I truly desire my life and living to be in the next 5 to 10 years? And just allow it to come up. Even if you don't necessarily have things pop that you want to write down, there may be certain energies. And for me, one of the things that I like to do is get a sense of what it was like when you were a kid. What did you come into this world desiring to be? You know, when you were just that tiny little just creature of just miracles, what is it that you knew then about what you desired to be and create as your life and in our world that you still know but may not have acknowledged lately? What if you could get a sense of that energy of, wow, I came here to be something different. Wow, I came here to be a space that I know how to be. What is that for you? So, my beautiful friends, only you know. And what else is possible you have never considered? Thank you for being here with me this week. I could talk to you guys all afternoon, but I'm not going to. Tomorrow I am doing a telecall on 4 tools to create your happy. It's $35. I think it's on it. I don't know. It's on tomorrow. We'll put the link in here. But I had someone ask me about this a couple of days ago, because happiness has been an interesting thing for me. Like, I remember my whole life, people would ask me, are you happy? And I'd be like, are you? If this is happy, then, but happiness for me is just a sense of peace. Happiness for me is me liking who I am, and having no judgment of myself or anyone else. And I was talking to a friend the other day, and she was asking me about it. And I was like, I'm not happy all of the time. I'm not. And the idea that you can be this standard of perfection, or this continuous, everlasting happiness. I'm like, that just hasn't been realistic in my world. It's not something that there's shit that comes up. And she was like, why don't you make a video about it? And one of the things that I said in that was, for me, happiness and joy is knowing that I have the tools and knowing that I have me to deal with any of the stuff that comes up. So what would it be like if, again, you didn't have to shoot for somebody else's ideal of what something should be, you know, or look to social media as, oh my God, everyone but me is happy. Being happy on social media, can I just put this out there? Being happy on social media is easy. You know, actually living that is a very different thing. So what if you gave you the tools and you had what if you didn't have to give up you anymore? So there you go. How does it get any better than this? Thank you, beautiful people, for being here with me. I will see you next Thursday on another installment of Misfits Guide to Living. Mwah.